Marinette, tell him the truth, sis. Lucozade is who? It's time for us to discuss truth. If you're new here, welcome to AnimePuffz. I'm your host Wiley, and today I'm going to be talking about Miraculous Ladybug Season 4, Episode Truth. So if you like this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Share if you care. Let's get to it. Okay, so this is going to be a spoiler review in detail, and as usual, please follow me on Patreon. I have exclusives and bonus content on there, so make sure you do that. And then also make sure you follow me on social media. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at AnimePuffz. The links will be in the description box. Make sure you check them out. Let's go. So y'all, honestly, this may very much so be my favorite Miraculous Ladybug episode yet. It was so deep. Like, I loved it. I know some of you who are like super fans of Miraculous Ladybug, and you know, you follow the creators online, and then you also like stalk the fandom website. Y'all are probably like, what the hell was this? And me too, I was also like that. But because there was just like a couple continuity issues that don't exactly align with what we know about the show just yet. It's like, again, the show is kind of changing what has already been established in the show already, along with what the creators and the fandom websites have said. But honestly, y'all, I'm no longer really checking for continuity. Like, not really doing that. I just am gonna accept the show for what it is. Whatever they say goes. It's not up for me to argue, because I can't argue with what doesn't make sense. So yeah, there's like a whole bunch of like inconsistencies when it comes to the show. I mean, I'm just gonna take it how it is. I'm not even gonna argue with that. But let's get into the review. Okay, so the episode opens with Hawkmoth actually fixing the Peacock Miraculous, and he combines the Peacock Miraculous with the Moth Miraculous, and he becomes Shadow Moth. So, oh no, Hawkmoth just upgraded. I thought this was kind of cool, actually. Like, already we know that, you know, Ladybug and Cat Noir have power-ups. So they get power up, so why can't Hawkmoth get a power up? They just like, this show just took things to the next level, and I'm interested in knowing what exactly can Shadow Moth do, what are his new powers, like how are they gonna combine together, and what is the maximum amount of damage that can be caused? And how will Ladybug and Cat Noir fix it? I'm so excited for this. And finally, we see that Nuru is no longer alone. He now has Zuzu to hang out with, which is like a catch-22. It's like sad on one end, because it's like, oh no, Hawkmoth has 2 Miraculous now to hold captive, which is very bad. But I'm also kind of happy that Nuru is not alone. Though I will admit that it does sound like a little fishy or feels a little weird. But again, I'm just gonna present my issue with this, but I'm gonna let it go, because I can't argue with what doesn't make sense. It's just like, it kind of gets a little bit confusing, because this episode takes place in season 4, but in season 3 we know that Natalie had the Peacock Miraculous and she's actively using it. So why was Zuzu hugging Nuru? Like, this was the first time that they saw each other. It doesn't exactly make sense. It's like, we can make an argument for it and put the pieces together, but it doesn't exactly make sense. But we do know that Nuru has been locked away. We do know that the Peacock Miraculous was damaged, but it's just like, it just doesn't fully align as to why Zuzu was acting like they had never seen Nuru before. But whatever. And then we learned so much in this episode, or at least I feel like I learned a lot in this episode. Tiki basically tells Marinette that Kwamis are not allowed to go outside without a wielder. And we see that Marinette accidentally like lets all the Kwamis out. And Marinette asks Tiki, like, I thought that you just said that Kwamis can't be outside of, you know, their Miraculous without a wielder. But then we learn that the only exception is if a guardian has control of the miracle box. Only a guardian can establish the rules for the miracle box. Marinette is just making her own way, so the Kwamis are allowed to be outside of the box. And these Kwamis are just a hot mess. Like, they're all so cute and adorable. I really like them, but it is a mess. Like, they're all chaotic. So honestly, they are like so much fun, but I know Marinette has to be like a little irritated with them. It's like hearing all these different voices with different opinions talking to her all at once. She doesn't get a chance to think. It's a lot. It's a lot. And these Kwamis are acting so wild and playing around, touching Marinette's stuff, that they almost reveal Marinette true identity of being Ladybug to Aya and to Marinette's other friends. One of them accidentally video chatted Aya, but thankfully we know that Kwamis cannot be detected by technology, so Aya doesn't see them. But this could have been like a serious issue if that wasn't established in the show already, or if Kwamis could be detected. Marinette's whole cover would have been blown. Alright, so we can conclude that these Kwamis are a little dangerous. Like, they're sweet and bubbly and cute or whatever, but they're dangerous if, honestly, they gain too much control or they keep acting wild, or if Marinette can't wrangle them in and control them, or have some type of structure and organization. And we are able to see how dangerous they are when one of them sends a picture of Adrian to Luca from Marinette's phone. So what I really like about this episode is that for once, like, finally, we are starting to see a crack in Luca. We're starting to see that all the crap that he's been dealing with Marinette is starting to get to him. He's not gonna just smile and pretend like nothing ever happened, or that he doesn't feel anything. Like, we're really starting to get to see the humanistic side of Luca. So kudos to the writers. They're finally paying attention to what bloggers and what fans have been saying. Like, Luca shouldn't be anyone's doormat. He was coming off a bit robotic and doormatish and simpish in the beginning. Now they're revealing the humanistic side of Luca. Like, people can be nice, they can be kind, they can have genuine intentions, but people aren't going to allow someone to constantly take advantage of them or play with their emotions. Or even if none of that was happening, at the end of the day, people have feelings. Even if they don't act out on their feelings or their negative emotions, they still feel them. Like, he really likes Marinette, and to have her not know how she feels about him, that still may hurt him. Even if he's not going to act out on it, it's still going to hurt him. And we need to see stuff like that, you know? We need to see the humanistic side of people, or the fact that they feel. Because before, Luca was not relatable at all. So we quickly learned that Luca has been calling Marinette because they were supposed to go on a date that day. They were actually supposed to go on the date the day before, but Marinette forgot. And it's crazy how Marinette's mom remembered the date and Marinette didn't. Or that they rescheduled and Marinette didn't. Your mom can't know about your dates more than you do, or know more about your schedule than you do. So Marinette and Luca go out on their date. They go to a movie where Marinette gives Luca a guitar pick that has been autographed by Jagged Stone.
Ça te donne droit à un cadeau.
Wow!
Jagged est passé à la boulangerie l'autre jour. Je lui ai demandé de le dédicacer pour toi.
And this is like a little hint. So I really like this. It's like, honestly, in my opinion, we've constantly seen, you know, Marinette take from Luca. So it's nice to actually see her give and care. Like, the fact that she went as far as to have a guitar pick that is meant for Luca signed by his favorite artist, that was very sweet. Now I can actually see that she has feelings for him, outside of something just being superficial and like just a cute little crush, or, you know, something just that doesn't really have deep meaning. Like, she has feelings for him, so I can say that now. But Marinette and Luca's date get interrupted by a traumatized victim, and for once Marinette is making sense to me. Like, I feel like this episode was solely focused on Luca for the most part. It also made me like Marinette again. Like, we're returning to who Marinette was in the first and second season, and I am more than happy. The kind girl who cared about other people instead of that train wreck that was season 3. Y'all can't tell me any otherwise. I did not like season 3. I have the right to dislike it, and I'm gonna continue to dislike it because it was not written well, and it did not showcase her in a good light. Season 3 was a hot mess. She's slowly but surely returning to the Marinette that I knew and I loved in season 1 and season 2. So Marinette must leave Luca. Tiki is asking her, like, why are you leaving? Like, I know you're seriously not about to leave Luca right now. Marinette's like, I have to. So it's like, it's interesting to see Tiki say something like that, because typically Tiki would be like, you have to leave, Marinette, you have to do what's right for the world. But Tiki's like, no, you have to kind of stay in this moment. I was just surprised by Tiki. Like, that's not normally something that she would say.
Tu ne vas quand même pas laisser Lucas tout seul. Tu veux que je lui dise quoi? Je reviens tout de suite, je dois combattre les méchants. Ou je dois filer Lucas. En fait, je suis Ladybug. Je suis la gardienne. Mon identité doit rester encore plus secrète.
It really shocked me. It's like, does Tiki have a rebellious side? Because I would like to see it, actually. Again, it adds depth to the characters, and it lets us know that, you know, maybe Kwamis have like different types of emotions as opposed to just trying to be happy and do the right thing and be good. Because no one's perfect, so maybe even Kwamis can't be perfect. So that's interesting. And it makes them more relatable. So if they continue with this, if the writers continue with this path, it makes sense. But then later on down the line, if we just continuously see Tiki say and do the right things, it's like, this is a bit jarring. Like, why that one time would Tiki try to make Marinette be rebellious or not do the right thing? You know, it stands out. It's like, what? Like, what is Tiki's character? Is she a flawed person who typically tries to do the right thing, or is this an inconsistency in her character? But of course, Marinette does the right thing and becomes Ladybug, defeats the villain, but we constantly see this repeated pattern that, you know, Marinette constantly has to leave Luca to save the city of Paris. And it becomes redundant, and slowly but surely that smile that was on Luca's face slowly but surely begins to fade. We see Luca look really disappointed when he and Kitty's section actually made a song and he dedicated it to Marinette, but she was nowhere to be found and she arrived late. Luca is really hurt by this. We can really see it in his face. I'm like, yes, Luca, show that human emotion, let's show it. Luca was so relatable in this episode. And what I love about this episode is that Luca was not feeling it. Like, Marinette arrived and he was just so disappointed. It's like, yes, get a backbone. So Luca basically takes Marinette to what appears to be a pier of some sort. He takes her by the water and he gets real with her. He tells Marinette that he doesn't know who his father is, and that because his mother wouldn't really tell him and he's disappointed by it and hurt, he used to come by the pier to just let loose and relax. And this is where he asks Marinette for the truth. He asks her, you know, for the truth, does she still have feelings for Adrien? And this is where Marinette kind of like messed things up for me. Instead of just being honest and saying, hey, I do like you, however, I do still have feelings for Adrien and I'm working on it, but you matter to me, she tells him that she can't tell him the truth. The truth that she can't tell him is her secret identity. And somehow that got mixed up. So it's like, this don't make no sense. Like, y'all having two different conversations. He's asking her whether or not she has feelings for Adrien, and that's the reason why she doesn't want to be around him. But she is having a conversation about the reason why she keeps disappearing, which is her secret identity. So she never really answered the question about whether or not she still has feelings for Adrien. This didn't make sense. They were having two different conversations and Marinette was just being dramatic. So it's like, I get why the writers are doing this to like lead us on a bit so that we'll watch more episodes and we'll hang at the edge of our seats. But it's just like, this was like hella dramatic for no reason. Like that one particular part. So Luca asks for the truth and Marinette tells him that that's the one thing that she can't give him. And of course he gets akumatized into a villain called Truth, who can shine a laser beam on his victims and force them to tell the truth. From this point on, I felt like everything else went by really quickly in the episode. Truth goes around asking everyone questions, asking Marinette's friends what her true secret is. And of course they don't know that she's a superhero, so. Truth almost gets Ladybug to tell him what her secret identity is, but of course Cat Noir comes through in the clutch, yes, and saves her. And then the Truth meets up with Jagged Stone and asks him if he is his father. And of course Jagged Stone tells the truth. He says that he is his father. And then we have this little touching moment, kinda, sorta, where Jagged Stone basically tells the Truth that he doesn't feel like he would have been a good father to Luca. So that's the reason why he hasn't been around. Truth gets mad and throws Jagged Stone over the edge of a building, but of course Ladybug and Cat Noir save the day and save him together. They listen, y'all, they listening. The Truth then invades Marinette's room where the Kwamis are panicking. They're hidden away panicking because they don't want the Truth to find out that, you know, who Marinette is and to discover them. But of course, in short, LeChat just saves the day and de-akumatizes Luca. Luca and Marinette end up meeting again at the same spot. Marinette tells Luca that she doesn't want to lie to him, and Luca tells her that he'll be waiting for her. And it kind of feels like, kind of broke up, but we're gonna talk about that. And Luca meets up with his dad, and the last scene of this episode is Marinette crying in her bed about how she'll never be able to have a boyfriend because Hawkmoth or Shadowmoth will always be on the loose and interrupt everything, and she just asks them to hug her. And they do. Little Kwamis hug her. So let's do takeaways. Okay, so all in all, I told y'all I really like this episode. It was refreshing. It was refreshing. It feels like we're getting a fleshed out storyline. We're getting more character development, and then we're getting like less creepiness. All right, my biggest takeaways, one is these Kwamis are doing too much. Like it must be a lot to manage all those personalities, and I get that they're like acting out a little bit for like comedic effect, but I just hope that they don't mess things up for Marinette and make Marinette's job harder. you know, she already has a lot on her plate. And I don't want them to distract from us getting to the meat of the show, which is like what happened to Adrian's mom. Marinette did call Luca by Adrian's name, so that was alarming to me too. Like, she still has Adrian on the mind. Will we ever figure out why she's so obsessive? Because it doesn't make sense. You know, it's not just like, it's sexist to say that, oh, this is just a girl thing. Girls don't just do this, they're socially conditioned to do so. So I'm gonna need them to explain to us why she's so obsessed over Adrian, because right now I don't see why. I like how romantic Luca is. He seems to be like a little romantic, just like Cat Noir is, and that is actually one of the things that really made me fall in love with the show. Like, just how detailed the romance is. It just took the show to another level for me. I also think it's a good thing that Marinette did not reveal to her friends her true identity, and now we know why. Like, she can't reveal that she's a superhero, and you know, she just can't. Like, it would have ended so badly had they known. So it makes sense. So I feel like this episode really answered a lot of questions that a lot of fans had. And I also noticed that the villain in this episode was unique. Honestly, a lot of these villains are just repetitions of each other's. Like, Timebreaker is very similar to Viperion. So it's like, I'm happy that they're getting a little bit more creative, because it was kind of getting redundant. I like the storyline of Jagged Stone being Luca's dad. It kind of felt like it came out of nowhere, but it didn't at the same time. It's like some of us already had like an inkling that Jagged Stone was Luca, Angelica's dad. So it's interesting that they took this direction. I'm going to talk more about this later. And I also did notice that they did change Luca's eyes, which was a good thing, because some of you all pointed it out that Luca's eyes were kind of creepy. I didn't really notice that until some of you all said it. And they were kind of creepy. It's like he had like a whole bunch of like, I don't know, the white part of his eye was just too big compared to the pupil. And it did look a little creepy. So now his eyes are conveying some level of warmth because they changed it. So that was cool. But all in all, I really did like this episode. It goes in my top Miraculous Ladybug episodes. But please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did you enjoy this episode? Do you think it could have been better? What would you have liked to have seen in this episode? And as usual, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Share if you care. Follow me on Patreon. Follow me on all socials, especially my Instagram, because I'll be popping on the gram. Yeah, and I'll be back with like more Miraculous Ladybug episodes, so stay tuned. But bye for now. Bye, y'all. Bye.